happened again. It's leaking. Well, the towels are around and trying to mop up some. Been running so far for 3.5 hours, trying to drain down. I'm just going to turn the pump off a second here. This time I have a speed fit tap to put in the pipe, so that will stop some problems. So if I get this problem ever again, all I'll do is turn the water off. So that's going to be fitted in. There it is. So that's going to be fitted in, and I'm going to put it in just after the pipe comes out the tank. So if there's any problems anywhere, basically in the pipeline, I can turn it off. Direction of flow on there, so that'll be the in and the out. At least I got this to fit in there this time. Any more problems, a quick turn off, and I can work on the system without spending hours and hours and hours to try and drain my water tank down. So my water tank is behind there, and there is the water pipe, the black one, not the copper one, which is gas. So make sure we cut the right pipe. So this panel fits in here. Now I do have a space there where I had cut the panel out once before. Where I put the tap there, I think I might just put the tap there. I was thinking about drilling a hole in the middle of the panel. So yeah, it's either cutting a big square hole so that the whole thing will fit in there, or putting it over here. So I think I'm going to put it over here. That will work, so I can just get to it whenever I want. Nothing knocks that, so it's not going to get knocked or anything, but it's easy to get to. I sort of replaced this little bit of panel here where I cut it out once, so it'll be a good time to do that while I'm doing it all. Yeah, getting there. Still pumping the water out at the moment. Right, so I've just drained all the water back down again. This is where I want to fit in the stop valve. It's over here. So I've got to cut the pipe so it can go in there. I've lifted the pipe up because I've moved it away from the gas pipe, because that's what I want to do, is cut through the gas pipe as well. Now I don't think I can get a hacksaw in here to cut it very easy, so I'm going to use the angle grinder. I'll put a cutting disc in the angle grinder and I'm going to cut it through with that. Hopefully that will work. So I'm going to cut it about here to start off with, then that will be going that way. I see it's got tape around here. I'm not sure what that's all about. I should probably take that off, but I'll take it off after I've cut it. It'll probably be easier. I know it doesn't show up very well, but I've just made a mark on there with my black marker pen. I can see it, that's what matters. So I'm going to make my first cut. Just like out of the way. That's my first cut. Just take that tape off. See what? I've got to take the tape off to make sure the pipe goes in properly and seals properly. I don't know what it was on there for in the first place, but of course it's just where I wanted it. There's no tape up here or anything. I'm wondering if someone, when they're putting something in, like fixing this in or something, screwed a hole in it or something back in the past before I had the boat. I'm just making sure there's no burrs there, so when I put it in, it should go nice and cleanly, I hope. The pipe inserts. I can't push it in with my hands. I thought it was going easier than that. It's designed to stop the pipe from crushing, I know, but yeah. Perhaps a little bit of a lubrication around there. I've got it on. Oh, that was a nightmare. The water's filling up, it's nice and dry. You can see, filling up with water. While I'm filling up with water now, I can take this apart and have a look at it, because of course now I've got the water turned off before it reaches the pump. Well, I think I have anyway. I'm sure I have. I turned the pump on and no water came out. I'll release the pump here. I only put 2 screws back in the other day because I knew it was, well, I thought if it was a problem again, I could soon look at it. Right, there's the pump loose. Change the bit over and undo the electrics. Try to do it one-handed so I don't get in the way too much. So you can see what I'm doing. Right, is that disconnected? These slide backwards, how these go on here. It's still not easy. I lay down on the floor to do this. Got that one the other side. The way it's all done, it's all so close quartered. You've got to job to get your fingers in anywhere. I'm going to grab a teaspoon or something, so if I can pry it back with that. And I can reach a teaspoon without getting up. Or without. There we go. Set that so. And the other one. Right, there's the pump. My kitchen, or galley, is a complete mess. There's dishes everywhere, pots and pans everywhere, all the pots and pans out of the cupboard. It's a disaster, but I haven't been able to do any washing up because of the water problem for the last, well, today anyway. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, let's try and find some space so I can do this. I hate that all this mess like this in the here. I can't do much about it at the moment. Right, let's move it out the way. Right. These are the flat sort of seals that are in there. You can see how distorted they are. When I tried to replace them the other day with some O-rings, I don't think the O-rings went in properly. Oh no, everything's falling apart. Anyways, put that back up now, sir. Right, water pouring out the pump still. Went to put the light on and I knocked the line down. These are those clips which hold in the pipe. It's a weird, nutty system, I think. That was the O-ring I put in, but I think they're a bit small and I just don't think it worked properly. It didn't leak when I first put it all back together again. It only started leaking after I moved the boat. So I'm guessing the vibration caused it. But yeah, they've really been distorted in there, haven't they? I think they were too thin. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a fatter O-ring in there. I've got a selection of O-rings. There's not supposed to be any ring in there, by the way. The last time it was leaking, I put those small fibre washers in, which stopped it. But the clips, when you pull them across, it's just supposed to be make the seal, just supposed to be push up in and makes the seal. But it seems to wear out after a while and creates the leak. The problem you've got is when you push the pipe in, it's getting this clip back across because you're not screwing down to anything. You just got, and you saw how close it was in there, how little room I've got to actually push these back on. But let's see what we can do. Well, I'm not sure if I've had a bit of a brainwave or this won't work or not, but I've taken the actual connector off the pipe. So I'm going to connect it here first, or try to, then put the pipe back on. It was only held on with a Jubilee clip that side. The other side I need a couple of spanners for, but first of all, let's see if we can get this one to work. I'm just trying something here. I can't compress the O-ring with my hand enough, so I'm just getting a clamp here. So you want to push it down with the clamp, tighten. So I can push that in. Got it in there. Right, let's try and do the other side now. Right, I've got the bit for the other side off now. Let's do that one as well. Yeah. Oh, I can actually. I think if I use this, I can tap that in. Got the hammer here just now. There we go. So let's put it back in and see how we've done. Right back on. Dry up some of this water. We'll try and dry up all of these cabinets are going to have to be replaced. They're definitely no good anymore. But that's not going to be today. And hopefully I'll try and get someone to do it professionally, because there's so many corners and nooks and crannies to cut out. I think I'm probably a little bit more than I'm capable of doing or want to do. Put back in. Connect this one up first. I'm afraid I can't really get a good camera angle here because I take up too much room while my arms do. So I'll try and get in here. I can't get to that. Tighten that up. I need about 4 pairs of hands to do this. Right. I think that's nice and tight. And that's will go into there. A few clips there, yep. I gotta move again. Reposition oneself. Right there. Camera there. Goes on there. Jubilee slip goes on there. Get the screwdriver. I'm getting told for all this. On. Oh, wrong screwdriver bit. There's a little bit here somewhere. Come there, of course. Is that reconnected? Go and turn the water on and pray. Oh. It wants to go back where it was. There's going to be a better fit there. I don't want people, if by putting it there, there's no tension on the You know, they're not pulling to one side, so that might help. So we'll see what happens anyway. First of all, let's put the water on. Well, it's looking dry. Let's put the screws in and see what's going on. I'm just going to put those two in again. I'm just going to make 2 new holes, and I'm not drilling it because this bottom is so rotten now. It's just going to screw straight into it as it is. If I was to drill it, it wouldn't hold at all. It's doing something, I think. There we go. Turn it on. Fill the accumulator up, so it takes a little while to do repressurize the accumulator. I might be getting lower battery power as well, so I had this pump running a lot today. I haven't been moving the boat. It was sunny earlier, and the solar was keeping them topped up. It's now 5 o'clock in the evening. I've been doing this all day, messing around. I didn't realise I had the tap running this boat. That's why I wasn't getting there. Oh, I see a seep. Oh, it's blimmin' leaking. As it's reaching pressure, it's starting to leak again. I don't believe it. Ah. Well, it's on the outlet side anyway, so I can drain that down. Put the tap on, drain that down. So there's not going to be much to come out. I don't know what I'm going to do. Get a new pump, I don't know. Oh, I'm not a happy chappy. I'm going to turn the camera off and think about what I'm going to do. Well, there it is. I haven't filled this gap in yet because I don't have any plywood this thickness. So I've got to get that and finish that off and tidy it up. But the tap's there, quite easy to get to. I put this panel back in. It looks like it could do with a bit of a varnish, but it can stay as it is for now. Put my little skirting board back in. Cleaned up all the mess or muck that fell out when I took this board out, and absolutely it was amazing how much dirt fell out from behind it. It's all cleaned up a bit now. It needs the floor needs a wash. Later on I should get the vacuum out and wash the floor to make it look nice, but that's after I fit the water pump. Because I've got to go and fit a water pump, and it's just arrived from Amazon, so time to go and get it. Well, I've just put the steps back, and they're back in. As you can see, I can get my hand up past the steps to the tap. This box I've got here isn't even in the way. I thought it might be, but it's not. So it's just got some picture frame and stuff in there, some mounts and all that sort of thing. Yeah, so yeah, job's a good one, I would say. So this is what I've gone and done, guys. This is the old pump here, which I've just taken out, and this is the new pump. I bought a new pump. I could not think of any other way to sort of fix this problem of leaking. And in actual fact, what a horrible feeling, it might have been actually seeping through the crack in here as well. It looks like it was weeping through there. So anyway, I bit the bullet, bought a new pump, bought it on Amazon yesterday evening. I've just been and picked it up, just taken it out of the box and everything. I just come to fit it. And of course, when you come to fit it, they look identical basically, don't they? But of course, the newer version is slightly different. These connectors, basically the same as these, you know, these go in here. The old pump, you know, they went in here. I was struggling to get that out now because, yeah, yesterday I forced some O-rings in behind these, so I thought perhaps that would seal it off. That bit and that bit are the same as they go in, but this one's designed for a pipe only. That's why this one has obviously had this added onto here. Where it goes on to the outlet pipe, which is also like this one had a screw fitting going onto it. So yeah, it's screwed like, see this is what I mean by different. It's got a screw fitting on there, and this has just got a hose push-on connector. So what I think I'm going to have to do, I don't want to use this old connector because that could be a problem. Oh, and this one also came with a, I think they call it, they don't call it a filter, they call it something like a filter. Sieve or something they call it, anyway, whatever. It's to stop big lumps getting into the pump and damaging the pump components. So I've got that. That will go straight into there, and then that will go onto there. So yeah, so that will go in there, and then this bit goes into there. Not a problem on the input side because, as I say, it had this push connector anyway, so that's easy. But on the output side, because it had that screw connector, because this obviously came before with a screw connector on the other side, I'm going to take that off of there and put onto there. No, I'm not. What am I doing? What am I talking about here? So what I'm going to have to do is take the fitting off, which is the screw connector bits, and I have got regular pipe behind that, so I'm going to have to do that. So real trouble with the camera in there trying to do all this work, so I'll show you when I've got it done, show you what I've done. Well, what can I say? After reading through all the instructions and all that sort of thing, it looks like the reason they changed over to this type of fitting, so it'll go onto a flexi hose, because I think they must have had problems with the pumps vibrating and causing the connections to weaken. So this had hard hose here, and I had a connector on here. I've cut it back a little bit because it was all rough on the end, and I had to make it a little bit shorter. And this is actually just garden hose pipe. It's the only hose I've got at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work. And at a later date, when I find some correct hose, I'll change it over. But it is reinforced garden hose, so it's quite good, low quality. Of course, I didn't have two Jubilee clips the same, did I? So that was the right size. That one was a little bit too big, so I've had to wind it down a bit. I've got a big bag full of clips here. But, most of them are big ones. So I got that onto there. This really didn't want to fit onto here. It was almost the same size, so I had to warm it up a bit. The old gas lighter. Warmed it up so I could squeeze it on there, which I've managed to do. That went on that side, no problem at all. So hopefully now I can put it together. Right, I'll come back to you in a moment once I've hopefully got it installed. Right, so that's connector put in there. That's on, in, that one's in, and that one's in. They're all clicked in. Now it's on a bit of an angle, because after I put it down, I connected all this up, that's where it wanted to sit. So that's obviously the point of least tension on any of the joints. So I've left it at an angle. I could have twisted it round and made it square on like it was before, but I thought it's probably best left at the point of least resistance against the joints. So now to test it out, I guess, I'm going to turn the water back on and turn the pump on. Well, the water's back on, and it's definitely dry this side, so that's one good thing. The other side, obviously, there's no water at the other side of the pump yet. So let's turn the pump on. You can see the water flowing through everywhere. Coming at the tap okay. I left the tap on so it would push through. Now it should pressurise itself up, pressurise the pressure tank here, whatever it's called, the accumulator, which holds pressure so the pump doesn't always come on when you turn the tap on. Well, that cut out quite quickly. It had been taking forever to cut out because it was drawing air in before. So that's looking quite good to me. It all looks dry. I shall get a paper towel and put underneath everywhere, and hopefully it stays dry. Just put a paper towel under there, and a paper towel under there. If it gets damp on the bottom, I know it's just soaking up from this horribly wet board. But if it's wet at the top, that's when I've got a problem. It all looks good at the moment. Yeah. That's taken me 3 days, 4 days to fix that, basically. Kept taking the other one. I had to keep draining the system down before. Now I don't. I've never put that tap in, so that makes a huge difference. Well, let's see how it goes. Well, that's another DIY job done on the Narrowboat. Cost me a little bit more than I was hoping to pay. That green hose I put in the garden hose, I will get some proper hose and replace that. I'm just nowhere near a Chandler's around here, so as soon as I find some, I'll get some and replace that. That's no big deal. Yeah, and it's reinforced hose anyway, so it'll probably last with no problem at all, because it's only cold water going through it, it's not hot water. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes anyway, but I will get the proper hose and replace it. All I can say is thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little project of me, again, doing DIY on a Narrowboat. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And click the old bell notification button and the all options. Also, a big thank you goes out to everybody that makes this channel possible. It's my Patreons, my PayPals, super thanks, and channel members. Your help goes an awful long way, and purchasing little things like that pump, it definitely helps out, you know what I mean? Well, that just leaves me to say, thank you very much for watching. Trevor out. I've broken a fingernail, so I've now got to tidy up.